Hi, my name is Sunny and welcome to Sunny's Starlight. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new trailer that's just dropped, much anticipated trailer for the film Chhapaak, starring Deepika Padukone. Hi, welcome to my channel, and before we start, please like, share and subscribe, and please press that notification bell so you know as soon as I drop any new videos. So as I said, this is going to be a new trailer review for the film Chhapaak, starring Deepika Padukone, who's been away from our screens for nearly 2 years. Her last release was Padmavat, and then she's of course got married in between, and it's taken a year to make this film, which is much anticipated, and it's a true life story. So without much ado, please let's just dive into it and let's see what it's going to be all about.
निर्भया केस के बाद मालती की कहानी लोगों तक पहुंचाना और भी जरूरी हो गया है। मालती की पीआईएल की वजह से काफी चर्चित हुआ है ना एसिड का मुद्दा।
कहाँ है मालती?
मालती जी, आप अपना चेहरा दिखाएंगी ताकि पब्लिक को इस हिंसा की गहराई दिख सके।
इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि मालती अब सिर्फ अपना नया चेहरा देखे सर्जरी के बाद।
पूरा फोन लड़कों से भरा पड़ा है।
इसका केस से क्या कनेक्शन है?
पहले बनने तो दीजिए केस मैडम।
अब सब कुछ ही रख देगी क्या? नाक नहीं है, कान नहीं है, झुमके कहाँ लटकाऊंगी?
हम 2 साल से फ्रेंड्स हैं।
अब बाहर आओगी? लड़ना है?
पुलिस के हिसाब से तो आपने बयान दिया था कि मालती आपकी गर्लफ्रेंड है।
मैंने ऐसा नहीं बोला।
सेशंस कोर्ट के बाद हाई कोर्ट, उसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट। बहुत साल चलने वाला है ये केस। शोर की आदत डालना।
अटैक उन्हीं लड़कियों पे हुआ जो या तो पढ़ना चाहती थी या पढ़ना चाहती थी।
कितना अच्छा होता अगर ऐसे बिकता ही नहीं, मिलता ही नहीं तो बिकता भी नहीं। आप इंटरव्यू नहीं लेंगे?
हो गया भाई इंटरव्यू। अभी बहुत लड़ाई बाकी है। तुम इतनी खुश दिखोगी तो कैसे चलेगा?
अब खुश हूं तो क्या करूं?
उन्होंने मेरी सूरत बदली है, मेरा मन नहीं।
Wow. Bit moved by that because it's a true event, and I just don't see how men or anybody can just splash acid on another human being. It's the most vile crime ever. Chhapaak actually means splash, and as I said, this is a true life story, although the names have been changed, but it's a story of a real person, a woman called Lakshmi Agarwal, who suffered this acid attack at the age of 15, only because she rejected the advances of some guy, and he felt hard done by, so he did this to her. And you know, the act itself it takes a few seconds, but this person has to live for the rest of their lives with pain, with you know, lots and lots of surgeries, lots of medical complications, self-esteem, depression, all sorts of things. So after the attack, this person has to live with all of that for the rest of their lives, and you know, whether they rise above it or not, you know, this is the story. So here we have somebody who went through all of that and suddenly said, you know, they may have scarred my face, but they haven't scarred her spirit. And she actually stood up and she fought this battle. So of course we've got the initial recovery, the operations, then we've got her fighting the law case in courts, getting the perpetrator locked up, and then of course the aftermath of everything and how her life continues. And as you can see, it's not all doom and gloom, because through her spirit she actually then finds a little bit of happiness, as you can see, and she finds a job. In real life, the person, Lakshmi, actually is a TV host, so she broke some barriers there. And of course she's an activist as well, and she's been advocating for the stopping the sale of acid, because it's widely available. As you could see in the trailer, it was the size of a beer bottle, and it's sold in normal shops or chemists or wherever. And I think that should not be allowed whatsoever, because if I had a big rock in the middle of my garden and I couldn't dig it out, I wouldn't be able to just go to a local hardware store and get a stick of dynamite. That is controlled substance. So I think the government needs to sort of change this kind of sale, because it really needs to be controlled so rigidly that nobody can get hold of it. And if they do, it has to be in smaller quantities than just like the beer bottle that we just saw in the trailer. So it has to sort of have people providing their names, addresses, passports, all sorts of identity, and it has to be from a government outlet of some sort. They cannot, I don't see why there is a need for acid for domestic purposes, because we have cleaners and stuff like that which actually get rid of stuff. But if there are any other compelling reasons for use of acid, then they can go to these sort of government run outlets, and only then can they get it. So that's how it should be. And Lakshmi started this campaign, which is hashtag stop sale acid. Please retweet that using that hashtag. And in this film, of course, we see Deepika portraying this character of Lakshmi. Deepika, absolutely truly magnificent performance. I mean, this is going to be one of her lifetime best performances ever. And I think it's not about awards, but come the award season, I think definitely she'll be picking up all the gongs. And I think when the film releases on the 10th of January 2020, and I think the Filmfare Awards come out sometime in March, so she may just make it for the Filmfare Award nominations. But apart from that, I mean, the film looked so moving, and it's not just, as I said, doom and gloom, because there is a rainbow at the end for this person, and there are happy endings for some people, but it takes somebody like this with courage to inspire others to actually sort of come out of their depression, their doldrums, and to sort of learn to stand up and fight for themselves, and to get that courage to actually carry on with life afterwards. Deepika's makeup looks absolutely stunning, in the sense that we've got different stages of her sort of attack and scars and what have you, and after surgery, so you could see different types of makeup, and it looks very convincing. One of the things that the reason why I was anticipating this was that in the UK at the moment there is an ad which has been going on for about a month now, and I see it almost every single day, and it's a Pantene shampoo advert, and it features a similar kind of person, and her name is Katie Piper, who went through something very, very similar, and their lives are very much sort of in parallel. Katie Piper actually suffered from exactly the same kind of thing, where she didn't accept the advances of somebody. It was an ex-boyfriend that she knew for about 2 weeks, and he got somebody to throw acid on her, and she's become an activist, and she's come through this, and she's a television presenter, she's a writer, and she's an activist. So I'll leave the link in the description down below for a 30-second ad of that Pantene shampoo advert, which I think tells a story very beautifully and very moving as to how these women have now sort of learnt to live with it, and how they found their sort of courage and their self-esteem. So yeah, I think it's a very moving story. The actor who plays her sort of love interest is a television actor called Vikrant Massey, and I think it's one of his first sort of big movie roles. So to star opposite Deepika Padukone, who's an A-list actress, is just incredible for him, and it looks like there is that chemistry between them, and I just hope that a lot of people sort of take notice of this, because we've got an A-list, one of the most gorgeous looking women in Bollywood, who's actually sort of taken on this role, this challenge to tell this very moving story. And just a fun fact for those of you who don't know Deepika Padukone, she was actually in a film, Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, with Vin Diesel. So some of you may recognize her from that. The film is directed by Meghna Gulzar, whose last film was Razi with Alia Bhatt, and that took all the awards last year for Best Actress and Best Film and Best Song. I'm sure there's going to be a really nice song in the background somewhere, because Meghna's father, who's a poet and lyricist and a director, Gulzar, wrote the song for Razi, which got lots of accolades. So I'm sure there's going to be a very poignant song in this film as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And Deepika absolutely nails this part, and it's one of the greatest parts that she's had. And in fact, so much so, she's turned producer for the first time with this film. So I think it's going to be a very, very moving experience for her, because just at the launch of the trailer, when they showed the trailer and she stepped on stage, she could not stop crying. She could not speak, because that was the first time she'd seen the trailer, and she was very moved by it. I would love to sort of sit down with Lakshmi Agarwal, Deepika Padukone, and Katie Piper, and Meghna Gulzar as well, and just talk to these women and see what their collective experiences are, how they deal with the life afterwards, and all sorts of things, because it's just one of those compelling sort of and horrific stories that you don't wish on anybody, but you just want to know and help other people. Luckily, there are less and less of this going on, but also in the UK we had a spate of acid attacks like this, because we don't have guns. So a few years ago we had a lot of these acid attacks, and so it's not just in India that it happens, but in the West as well. Please follow me on Twitter, because I'm quite active on Twitter, and I'll be posting the hashtag of Stop Sale Acid, so please retweet, and I hope you go and see the film in the cinema, because I think what's happened now is you can see there's great content coming out of India, and Hollywood, the tables have kind of turned, because Hollywood used to sort of produce these huge sort of epics and blockbusters and story-driven movies, and India used to just produce the same formula time after time after time for years. And so now the tables seem to have turned, where Indian content is much more at the top of the list in Indian cinema, and they tell these sort of true life stories, interesting stories that Hollywood will just not touch. And all we have in Hollywood now is your sort of superhero films, where we do not have any A-list stars as such. The likes of Tom Cruise, I suppose, or Brad Pitt are the last sort of stars that we have. Now we have characters as stars. So it's Captain America or Iron Man or the X-Men. Those are the stars now. And so I think Indian cinema has come leaps and bounds, and I think that's why people enjoy it even more so. So I can't wait to see this film. Go and see it at the cinemas, and I hope you spread the word about just how horrific this is and how to stop the sale of acid to anybody. It should not be legal for anybody to just obtain it without any proper checks. So thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press that notification bell, and I'll see you again next time. This is Sunny signing out.